The first tab has an instructions to start, but here's a quick video to overview it so you can jump right in. So on the budget tab, you'll see there are some calculated fields: total income, remaining balance, remaining secondary balance, and debt repayment. So the total income, that adds up your paychecks, any income that you have coming in. It's the only paid column that you'll enter in on your own. Everything else is automated. So your total budget will be the paid amounts for each type of category. So it'll add up your total budget for all your high priority items. You set rent, school, gym fees, things that are high priority. The secondary total will be the adding up of things that are transactions for things that are wants, a little bit less important. And then the third total is the tertiary total. It'll be things you put in there that are long-term debts or maybe wish list items. So that doesn't necessarily have anything subtracted from it if you haven't included or haven't paid anything on it. So your additional income field, that is the remaining balance from the month before. So as you can see, 520 was left from the month before, so that's added as income in June. So if I don't have enough income in June, that total budget will turn red. So you'll have to look for somewhere else that you can spend less money, that you can project, so that you can make sure that that's not in the red. So let's pretend that I'm getting some extra money that month, extra $300. That'll take it out of the red. If I didn't get that, it would be back in the red. So I might try to take something away that month where I could spend less. But you see, this month is already done. So I've already spent that amount. So it's not very accurate. So here I'm going to change eating out. I changed it to 0, then I changed it back to the 219, which is what the actual paid amount was that month. And the paid columns are pulled in automatically by the types that you set for each transaction type. So I'm gonna do a few undos so that I can change it back to what rent was originally and everything's equal. So if you see for each month, when the month's done, it should equal the paid and budgeted columns. On the debits tab, this is where you go on your online banking statement and you categorize each type of transaction that you have, and then that is automatically pulled into the budget tab and calculated as paid once you put it in this sheet. So in the F column, those are all the different transaction types that you have. That's everything that you can choose for column A. So, rent is a type and it is in column A in the high priority section. I changed it to test so that now you can see rent is not a selection in there because rent is no longer in the F column, it's test. So I change it back to rent. And when you go back to the budget sheet, because the paid column is already attached to the rent field, when I put it back to rent, you'll see the real amounts come back up. So very important not to change the paid columns on your own unless it's for income at the very top. So if you look at totals by month, you can see a breakdown of each type totaled in for each month. And it's in alphabetical order. So if you want to go down to June, you just go to the J's. That's why I had to spend a few years figuring out data analytics to make sure these columns referred correctly. But we've got it working now and it's automated for y'all. So if I wanted to see June was 700 something bucks I paid in June for rent, I could filter it to the month of June. So I'm clearing out all the other months and I'm selecting June. And that's all the transactions for June. So I'm going to clear the type and select just rent. And now you can see there were 2 transactions for June. So I'm going to try to total it to show you that it equals that $700 something, but that doesn't work because it's not just filtering out June, it's doing it's adding some other things in there. But yeah, that definitely adds up to $700 something for June. So the monthly totals will show you the monthly totals per transaction type. And that's the gist of it. So, get your debit types going and start putting in transactions. Once you assign your different category levels, you're good to go.